And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Starting off with hazardous weather graphic here again. Winter storm warning for heavy snow continues for tonight for the Yukon Delta into the lower and mid-Yukon River Valley area. Then for the Seward Peninsula here, northern Norton Sound, winter storm warning for additional snow, heavy snow there until tomorrow afternoon. Same thing up here over the Kobuk Valley areas. And then down to the south here, there's a coastal flood watch out beginning Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday evening through Wednesday here for the Kuskokwim Delta coast, as strong southwest winds will create conditions for possible coastal flooding. And in the Alaska Range here until noon tomorrow, wind advisory for winds gusting to 65 miles per hour out of the south. And then down here on the Seward Peninsula, that's a winter weather advisory until 9 p.m. this evening for Moose Pass for additional snow, gusty winds, poor visibilities, and slippery road conditions there. Again, that until 9 p.m. this evening. And on the satellite imagery, another low tracking northward here into western Bristol Bay, and the front pushing east and coming northward. A lot of clouds here over interior Alaska with the band of snow here back to the west. Although warmer air coming up, rain and snow falling across the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta today, with rain at Bethel, for example, Aniak, and also rain at St. Mary's farther to the north. Bristol Bay having southeast winds of 40 to 50 miles per hour today, and rain tapering off now over Kodiak Island after picking up about 0.8 of an inch today with that front, or about 0.85 of an inch during the day today. Same at Portage Glacier, had 0.85 as well. And then about 1/4 of an inch falling over at Homer. Anywhere from 1 to 2/10 of an inch or so here, water equivalent, falling over the southwest interior. And then the band of heavier snow along that Arctic front there, extending to the northeast to the eastern Arctic coastal areas. Rather dry day, but a lot of clouds here over the eastern interior areas with those strong winds through the passes of the Alaska Range. Delta Junction seeing a peak wind gust of 60 miles per hour today. Dry day over the southeast coast with some pretty strong high pressure in over western Canada there. And that's slowing the advancement of that front a little bit there toward the coastline. And out to the west, we've got a weakening system through here, brought a little bit of light rain to Adak and Atka today. And next system developing and moving northeastward. Otherwise, for tonight, we'll see this front pushes rain and snow in across the southeast coast. Gusty winds, rain and snow for the North Gulf Coast into southern Alaska here. Strong gusty winds possibly in the Copper River Valley areas. And again, the wind advisory continues for the Alaska Range. Heavy snow warning here for the Kobuk Valley into the Seward Peninsula, and also for the Yukon Delta area, with the low center here right over the area there, and some snow trough developing here, and that should push some snow into at least the Kuskokwim Delta, cool it off enough possibly, although rain showers continue for Kodiak Island. Out to the west, stronger system moving into the western Aleutians, and tomorrow that will push front east-northeastward here with gale force winds in advance of that, and a lot of rain, another push of warm air coming up, so periods of rain, gusty winds spreading from the east-central Aleutians right into the Alaska Peninsula northward to the Pribilofs. A little bit of snow possible along the Yukon Delta coast area. Colder air coming in behind that will change or result in snow showers here. Rain changing to snow for Adak and Atka, with snow showers tapering off back towards Shimmy and the Komodorsky Island areas. This front, or this trough, coming northeastward here will bring areas of snow across the Kuskokwim Valley into possibly Cook Inlet, mainly along the Alaska Range. Could see some light snow showers in the Susitna Valley, but the heavier amounts will be back to the west and north there with that low center, just about right over Kotzebue. So periods of snow continue again for the Seward Peninsula area up to the western Alaska Range, with some light snow falling over the north slope and the Arctic coast. This front kind of hung up along the coast there, getting slowed down by high pressure that's actually weakening now. but that'll make for a wet day for the southeast coast. Periods of rain tomorrow. Same thing for the North Gulf Coast here as well. And then moving on to the Thursday outlook. Let's see, let me back it up one here. This system pulls up to the north and weakens right there, and a stronger one pulls in here with gale and storm force winds, and that's the reason there's a coastal flood watch out for the Kuskokwim Delta coast here. You can see quite a gradient associated with that. South to north flow, warm air, so rain mixed with snow, mixed precipitation here along this warm front into the interior. To the south of the front, just plain rain, periods of possibly heavy at times. Again, could see wind gusts of 50 to 65 miles an hour ahead of this front. Snow showers behind the front there, and the colder air over the western Aleutians, and a lot of moisture lingering here along the North Gulf Coast areas with some showers into the panhandle. And for the lows tonight over the southeast coast, in the 30s there, otherwise around 20 in the Copper River Basin, 20s, lower 30s across south central Alaska, and teens and 20s in the Kuskokwim Valley, mid 30s for Kodiak Island. Highs for tomorrow, 30s just about everywhere here except Homer, up around 40, near 30 in the Copper River Basin, and highs in the 40s for the southeast coast. Lows the following morning, 30s to near 40 there for the Panhandle, a little cooler in the Copper River Basin, down around 10. Otherwise, south central Alaska, mid-20s to lower 30s, mid-30s Kodiak Island, and in the 30s for Bristol Bay. And then for the highs on Thursday afternoon, upper 20s Copper River Basin, upper 30s to mid-40s there, 44 at Homer, about the same in Kodiak, upper 30s, lower 40s Bristol Bay, and even up into the Kuskokwim Valley, upper 30s there, with another day in the 40s for the southeast coast. Up to the north, lows tonight here, mildest on the eastern Arctic coast, below zero to the west, and then teens and 20s everywhere south of there, with single numbers out over the Seward Peninsula, St. Lawrence Island, followed by highs tomorrow, 0 to 10 for the Arctic coast into the North Slope, up into the possible 20s there, 15 to 20 for the Brooks Range, with 20s and 30s down to the south, followed by lows 5 to 10 below for portions of the Arctic coast and North Slope. Otherwise, single numbers here over the northeast interior, with lows anywhere from 10 to 15 over the Tanana Valley, a little colder down there toward Northway and Tok, and milder out here to the west in the mid-20s, but down to 8 for Savunga. That'll be followed by highs. You can see warm air coming northward again, upper 30s right up in toward the Galena area there, as well as McGrath. Single numbers for the central Arctic coast, highs in the 20s for the Tanana Valley, cooler over toward Eagle. And for the southwest Bering Sea here, or for the Aleutians, lows in the upper 30s tonight, upper 20s for the Pribilofs, and then highs tomorrow, mid 30s for Bristol Bay, upper 30s Pribilofs, lower 40s there for the Fox Islands, and 34 for Shimia, followed by lows in mid 30s for Adak and Atka, same thing for the Pribilof Islands, and highs in the mid 30s, lower 40s for the Alaska Peninsula.